Is it recording the house down?
That one was weak.
Weak like your tea.
My tea is going to be amazing.
Okay, so we're trying something new and also trying to dive in so we don't talk too much and people then quit it by. So thus begins our...
The thing is we're never going to win back these people.
We're never.
We keep making fun of them.
Context clues. I think people understand.
Okay.
So, so this is the first time we're doing this, as evidenced by the fact that I'm not wearing pants, because I did not know that you were going to be able to see my...
I got all the way dressed and even put on my new hot pink shoes.
So, okay, we're going to offer some paltry coverage of Drag Race Season 13.
Yeah.
A quick disclaimer.
We have only watched 3 seasons. We've only seen 10, 11, 12, and 13. Yeah. Okay, so I've seen bits, pieces here and there, and I watched previous episodes if there was a guest judge that I liked, like Casey Musgraves or Lady Gaga or whatnot.
We watched episode 1 and 2 of Season 13.
Yeah.
In
In a normal year, I don't think we would have, but this was bonkers.
Well, and also we're still trying to figure things out with our new recording setup and everything. I have gleaned that this show is somewhat of a total free-for-all, and this season especially feels to be that way.
Yeah.
How do you feel so far about the format?
What format? I don't know what's going on. It doesn't make any... So far, we've only, gotten to know 7 of them. And I'm like, what about the other 6? I thought it was going to be the first episode was we were going to go backstage and untuck with the winners. And then this one we were going to focus on the new people. Or they were going to... Yeah, they were going to integrate them again. But they only reintegrated Elliot. And it doesn't make sense because now I have this feeling that no matter what they do, I'm going to prefer these 7 over the other ones, no matter what.
Okay, so where I'm at is, obviously with exceptions, we'll get into it, but I overwhelmingly prefer Elliot because
of the situation?
Yeah, because he was put in such a difficult place, and neither of us love reality TV drama dynamics, and
it just is so... The problem is it's so forced.
Sure. Well, I was going to say, this show leans into it a lot.
Yeah.
I straight lied to you and told you it didn't at first.
Well, it's not in the way that irritates me with, things like Jersey Shore or, The Real World or anything like that, because it is still a competition show, so it's they can't be as friendly as you want them to be.
We know this because they stay telling us.
Oh my god. I'm not here to make friends, you guys.
I'm here to win. They stay explaining the format of the show.
You're all there to win. They're all there to win. It's a competition. That doesn't make... One of them said that was I'm here to win. And I'm like, you're not special. You're all here to... You all came to win.
I see. So I would never do this, but if I would literally be like, I'm here to place 5th, y'all.
Yeah, right?
That's such a accomplishable.
Well, it's the type of thing
I'm just trying to skate by. I don't want to stand out.
I'm here to Trixie and Katya my way out of this with a lucrative Netflix deal on the other end.
Which theme of the first episode, you can be the first voted off and still have a major career. You can walk the red carpet of the Oscars. You can,
Well, and because they talked about Miss Vanjie came back and she went pretty far in her follow-up season.
So yeah, I think something that I do like about the drama on this show is that frequently it is telling us, it serves a narrative purpose.
Sure.
And usually, not always, but a lot of times, the issues are riddled out within the episode.
Yeah, there's not generally a long-running, season-long...
In the 3 seasons that we've watched.
Yeah. I hate this bitch and blah, 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 blah. There is tension, but it's generally not that I've seen a season-long arc.
Well, it's the major conundrum, the major issue within the gay community is that it sort of... It can be dichotomous because it's on one hand, it's trying to be this like welcoming, bastion of like inclusion and found family and all that. But then in that same breath, it can be like a backstabbing, catfighty, survival of the fittest. Like,
I'll say
because we all grew up in survival mode. So.
Sure, I will say they lean. I don't know if it's editing or if it's like whatever, but I have felt that they have leaned away from the like cat fighting.
Mm-hmm.
There's only, and like in the seasons we've watched, there's only ever been like one or two people who are bad.
Well, and there's also because it's sort of a blind spot for you personally. You've complained about where you're like, I can't tell when they're like play being mean, and actually being mean, and
it's tough.
It's a fine line. Okay, so do you have any thoughts going in other than the format being all over the place?
Not really anything general. I did sort of think this was one of those, because we've only got 7, that might be, I was maybe able to like absorb more of it, but I think that this was one of the strongest fashion weeks. Like all of their looks were like pretty good. I didn't love the one Candy Muse, her like LeMay one. I didn't love that, but it fit her personality.
Well, let's start with her. So I like Candy Muse. I don't know if that's gonna stay. She seems to be so I found her to be very funny, and very a lot, and I think the a lotness.
I think that will be our mileage may vary.
She really gives me, this is not shade to anybody involved, but she gives me Khloe Kardashian vibes.
Oh, okay.
In that like sort of like underdog sister type thing.
Sure.
Like I said, I think she's very funny. I think she could tone down the cattiness a little bit.
Yeah. Especially because then it was so jarring when she got so emotional during Untucked this week, and I just was like, oh.
Because she seems to be self-aware, which can take you miles.
Mm-hmm.
The LeMay I thought was just okay, and also while I loved her daytime look, I do not understand how that was daytime.
No, it felt because it was Michelle, right? That was like, walk me through your thought process.
Michelle sporting a white streak.
Yeah,
that
I love it.
I think I would believe is real.
Real?
I mean, I think it's enhanced,
Yeah.
but I don't think she was like, give me one.
I was just curious if that was her actual hair. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like she's worn wigs before.
Oh, I'm sure there's hair in there.
Okay, that's fine.
That's not all her hair.
She just had like a very Mary Tyler Moore thing going.
No.
But like way exaggerated, like a Linda Belcher thing going.
And
it was very exaggerated.
And then we do seem to have, it's Michelle, Ross, and Carson, and they filmed during, I think, the summer. So it was during quarantine, and they are separated by
plexiglass.
Mm-hmm. So my early favorite, and we have not spent hardly any time with her at all, but it was Joey J.
That's my issue, is because it's like, because I liked Utica also, and I was like, now I don't know anything about those two.
Well, I think we're going to spend next week with them. I think it's weirdly going to trade off, and then we're going to put them together.
Yeah, but then we shouldn't have spent basically 2 weeks with these ones, because they're the only ones that got...
It was pretty even, the premiere. It was pretty 50-50.
It felt like we got more with these 7. It's whatever, but...
But I thought Joey J was so funny.
He's the dumb one. Right?
Well, he introduced himself with, I'm the dumbest bitch you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Also, I was sort of including this ranking because I always talk about like out of drag. He's the one that I'm the most into out of drag.
Okay.
I like his purple like faux hawk.
Not Rosé?
He's cute. Rosé, I don't trust yet. Rosé is giving...
I think he's a bitch.
Yeah. I'm getting real... Well, I didn't really care for Ariel Versace all that much, and I'm definitely getting those vibes.
I see it.
I don't like the performance, the artifice, the like...
That's
the
like
queens here.
That's like the whole thing. You don't like the main...
I like a natural look for my drag queen.
Really prefer natural?
No, but I mean, for instance, Joey J, that just like, that was funny.
Sure.
And actually, because I did like Utica, I am nervous. It needs to be turned down.
Utica?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because I also thought he was really cute, but it needs to be turned down a little bit. Or I need to be able to see...
That's the thing, is like I need to be able to get to know them, and I don't know them yet.
Yeah, because like Denali, I got nothing. The ice skates was cool.
It was cool. I was intrigued, but again, it's like, but then I got nothing to go forward on.
I like, as a person, I like Lala Ree, but I've been kind of whelmed by the drag. Although the performance, when they were doing the dance,
hers was good.
She was doing a lot of stuff with her face that gave me, it kept reminding me of Retta.
I see the Retta.
And it was, I think she could really kind of pull it out with performances and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Although Michelle is not going to let her go on the fashion. Michelle is always the ball buster on
and
the
I
fashion.
think the makeup is a little early high frontrunner Simone.
For me right now it's Simone and Gottmik.
Yeah.
100%. Those two are, I think, yeah.
Simone, for starters, the X Factor, just naturally, because you were like, I love her so much. She's so tall and skinny.
She's so long.
Yeah.
It's just like and so it's going to be so easy to dress her,
but she's not awkward. She's not lanky.
Awkward. She's really good at her makeup too, and she's had a handful of excellent wigs so far. I'm just like,
because she was giving me, I didn't even, it might have been a subconscious thing, but she was giving me Giselle vibes, and then I found out Giselle wears a Polaroid dress like that, and also just like creative. I wouldn't have, my instinct would never be to come out dressed like a girl boxer.
Boxer, yeah. But
especially for a LeMay challenge, and to have the
both?
Everlast or Marathon or whatever, I forget what it was called.
Everlast Merriweather?
No. Have the belt. Yeah. It was good. I don't do sports.
Everlast is correct.
Okay.
I think it's correct. We're not boxers.
But the hair,
the long braids and everything. Yeah, it was very good.
So I did watch, they did like a half-hour introduction to the queens where they were in full-blown hair and makeup, and it's their like season 13 hair and makeup.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know exactly how they do that because it looks so coordinated that to me it's always looked professionally styled. I have a hard time believing that they just brought looks that go together so well.
Sure.
So all of them were uber polished in that. Okay. I can show it to you.
Yeah, I'll watch.
But I clocked Gottmik immediately, and I did not know their story in that.
Well, I just also, her first look coming out with the white, it was almost like a Kiss makeup, and the white face.
It was very Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, and the outfit so far. All of her outfits are my favorite. Every single one. That daytime look was like a cloudy day. Oh my god, amazing!
And it was kind of like preschool.
Like latex, yeah.
And then her nighttime look with the pasty, it
was amazing.
So I don't think we really need to spend a lot of time on it. She is, to my understanding, the first transgender.
Yeah.
I think there's one more. I'm not entirely sure, so I'm not going to talk about it. But that's been sort of a debate amongst the community, is whether or not to have is that fair, or is it like, I don't know. There's been a debate about it, and I think people have been calling it for a while. And it's the kind of thing that I always kind of was like, I understand that it being a gray area, and then true to form, seeing this play out. It actually is just so...
no, it just works.
It's just fine.
I think what's more of a gray area is, should he be allowed to be in the competition because he's a makeup artist? And I'm just like, that feels...
I kind of agree. It's like when figure skaters go on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah,
and it's like...
I mean, come on.
So, yeah, I was surprised at how natural it did feel. Or not surprised, but I wanted to remark on how natural and how intuitive it did feel in a way that, like, I think going in, you could be like, oh, no, this is going to be a landmine.
Yeah.
Because I even thought, I was like, well, how are we going to refer to him? Yeah. And he literally was just like, well, when I'm in drag, it's she. And then when I'm not, it's he. And I was like, oh,
so
it's really easy.
So easy.
Also,
a child could do it.
I think... what I've gathered from the first 2 episodes is that he has a good attitude.
Yeah.
Which miles for me.
100%. Because it was I was getting a very, like, in between Scarlet Envy and Gigi Good vibe from him. Because it was like a little bit bitchy, but like mostly a nice heart.
I didn't care for Olivia Lux when she first entered. She's the one that has been doing it for about a year.
Okay.
And I thought her first look was sloppy. I thought the wig was sloppy. I thought the makeup was sloppy and everything. However, she really pulled it out.
She pulled it out, especially the LeMay. She just was like straight up Tiana. It was.
That was actually my least favorite, but you really liked it.
I liked
the
it.
water
It was
lily
really
kind of
pretty because it also reminded me of. There's a lily in Batman and Robin during the auction where they're auctioning off the like flowers. One of them's a lily, and she reminded me of that a little too. I was like, this is
exactly.
all around pretty great.
And her performance with the song and everything was because that's such an element that a lot of times people don't anticipate is the acting and the performance and all of that.
Yeah.
So Tina Burner, I like Tina Burner. She seems like she could be a lot. Because my literal note says good but knows it.
Ooh, sure. Yes, I agree. I agree with that because that's where like so apparently you said IRL he's been getting mad about people
were comparing
to Sherry
like
Pie
in like unflattering like in rude ways.
I think it's like a dead middle between Nina West and Sherry Pie, and it's like you are good, but you look like you know you're good, and you're not nice enough like Nina West to back it up.
Well, I think we'll see. He's definitely an industry person. People know, like Michelle was like, I know who this is. You know?
It's what's interesting to me this year is that apparently a ton of them know who each other are.
That happens. That comes and goes. That happens because in season 10 or 11, I think some of them knew each other.
But I think it was only 2 or 3. But they've like all heard of each other.
Oh well, because we have Amon. We have the matriarch of the Amon, Mercedes Amon Diamond.
Yeah.
And we've seen very little of her. She's one of the ones that's the other.
Yeah, I'm again intrigued because she got on last season and then found out she had colon cancer, and I'm just like, well,
I think we'll see next week.
Well,
that's why I'm like, at first I was like, we'll check in like beginning, middle, and end, and now I'm like, this might be weekly. So, I don't really have much to say about Kimora Hall. I did get a lot of attitude from Kimora Hall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
because she was like, it's not Kimora.
Yeah. And I did not like the dress at all until she threw down its actual like vintage Mackie, and I was like, oh, then no.
Well, I can't not like it.
And actually, she's Jada's sister, Jada Essence Hall.
Yeah.
And we loved Jada last season.
Reigning Look over queen. There.
I fell for it. I was like...
That was like my favorite bit. It was just so
And they did it the perfect amount.
She only did it twice. It was perfect.
Yes, which going back to Elliot with 2 T's. I don't know what it is. He's cute.
Lenora from True Blood.
Sure.
I can't get over it. That's what she looks like at drag.
He seems very young. I don't remember or didn't take note of his age, but he does seem very young. I liked the gimmick. I liked his sort of introduction that I'm a Vegas housewife with a secret. Because they were really hard on his entrance look. And I was like, it wasn't flashy, but I thought it conveyed...
It was a personality thing. And I think the like jacket with the candy all over it was so good and so interesting. And I think that's the type of thing... If it were me, if I were the judge, I would be like, thank you for showing it's different, because how many of them came out there in like a bodysuit and whatever, you know, that's what they're always like, if that's the only thing you can do, it's boring.
Well, because it is supposed to be, like, your intro look is supposed to be attention grabbing.
Yeah.
In which case, I don't know, Utica was the only one that really achieved.
It's true.
But, it is supposed to represent you in ways that, like, if you're not a glamour queen, then no, you're like a pageant girl, you're not going to come out in full-blown regalia. But
I loved it. I thought it was
and I liked
one of the more unique
I liked
ones.
Elliot's other stuff. Well, again, it sold the story, I think.
Yeah.
But I liked Elliot's other things, in particular the night look, which was just straight Zelina from Once Upon a Time.
So good.
So, honestly, we really could keep going. I have a couple more things. I loved the LeMay You Stay challenge.
Yes, it was very fun.
Gottmik was a sea dragon.
It was so cool.
that was really good. And I think they even said, I don't remember which one it was, but they were like, this is already like it's already trending.
Yeah, it was Ross.
Actually, I mean, I think that's it. You did really love Tina Burner's Tin Man.
Oh my God. Okay, well, that's the thing. When she first came out, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was also with, I don't remember who said it, Ross, I think, like, please don't do more orange and yellow and red.
It was Michelle.
Was it Michelle? So I was with that also. I was like, yeah, I've had enough. So when she came out, I was like, oh, that's a whole different color palette. The Tin Man, it's very cool. I dig it. It is like a biker jacket and everything. But then it was like the last second she opened the jacket and there was like a blood red heart on the thing.
Crystalline.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah.
And I was like, it was like honestly, it was, I hate to say it because it's true, but it was like the Nina West paper doll dress where in the front it just was like, that's just a nice dress. Like, I get it. That's a cute dress. And then she turns around, her whole ass is out. It's like a very surprising, cool thing at the very last minute. I loved it.
So, any last notes? Do you have a front runner?
Yeah, the Simone and Gottmik for me.
Okay.
Those two. They're my favorite, but I also think they're the strongest right now. Out of 7, I guess. Who knows?
So.
I mean, Elliot, though, does feel...
Elliot's not going to win.
Not going to win, but I feel like there is a path forward for success for Elliot. Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Well, I think we will check back in soon, sometime, probably next week.
We'll see.
See you then.
Let us know if you want us to. Bye.